Hey there. I know we're live. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. How y'all doing? Trying to get my phone over here so I can make sure the music's not too loud because it's a constant problem for me. It drives me insane. But anyway, let me get this turned on. All right. Okay. Interesting. I got to put it onto my earbud here because, if I don't, it has this like vibration thing that happens. It's kind of, Okay. Let's see if it connects up. Let's see. Come on, connect up. How y'all doing? Have a good weekend. I know I did. Got to enjoy time with my son. That's always so much fun. And we get to play with some. We're both big kids. We collect things. But the thing is, what we're collecting now is a little cheaper than what we were collecting before, because your average price of a Super Labubu doll is like $27.99, where the average price of one of those those spray ground things was like $60 to $75, $80, something like that. So, come on, my AirPod is right here. Come on now, it needs to just connect up. I don't know why it's not connecting up. Oh well. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? I want to make sure the music is not too loud because I have a constant problem with that music playing way too loud in the background. And then my good friend Guilty Crime comes up in here. Hey, I can't hear you. Your little music for to protect you from, the problem that we always have with YouTube and the, oh, come on, it must be the wrong one. And the fair use situation. You don't want to get a copyright strike. So we've learned if you play music behind it, that doesn't really happen to you. So anyway, make sure y'all can hear me, okay? Because I do not want the music to be too loud and be causing a problem. So here, I'm going to fix it like this, and I'm going to turn it down some. All right, there we go. Now, turn my comments back on, and here's what we're going to talk about today. I don't know if it's not going to connect up, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, wait a minute, did it? I don't know. Let me see. One more time. Let's see if it'll connect. Sometimes I have to turn. I hate this iPhone. I don't know if any of y'all have iPhones. Well, let me tell you something. The iPhone 15 was the worst one they ever made. This phone gets super hot, and then it gets like everything's stuck. And then you have to turn it off and turn it back on to get it unstuck. Now, they told me over at the Apple store, hey, just take everything off and put it over on the cloud somewhere, and then just download it, let back on only the things you want because there's too many things on it. I'm like, that made no sense at all, right? It just did not make sense. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I guess my earbud must be dead. Maybe it needs to be charged. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Let me do this. Okay, so it's not going to. Oh, we'll just go on with this. It's fine. Now I need to go back over here and find my dog. You better go over there and sit down. My little dogs are downstairs with me. Let me go sign on and get this other stuff ready to go so I can show you what we're going to look at today. It's some interesting things. So I have to go to my playlist and get that set up. Here we go. Playlist. Because that's where I have it right here. All right, let me stop this. Stop this and come back over here so I can be ready to share my screen. All right, so here's what I want to talk about today over here. First off, thank you for coming on over. I know it's kind of short notice. I think I talked about this on Friday, but I forgot to put my post out there that I was going to come live today. So anyway, we're going to talk about Alexee Trevizo. Now, where she's at today, as far as her I have to make notes, make myself a little script and all that stuff, or else I just can't get it right, So anyway, as of late 2024 and early 25, Alexee Trevizo's M trial remains delayed while legal battles continue over key evidence. Trevizo is accused of killing taking the life of her newborn, and leaving the body in the hospital's trash can in January of 2023. The key legal arguments are the New Mexico Supreme Court is considering an appeal from the prosecution after a lower court judge suppressed some key evidence, including statements that she made and police body cam footage. Prosecutors claim Trevizo's statements were not made during an official police interrogation and that the hallway video is public evidence. And you know what? I tend to agree with them on that. Okay. The Supreme Court says it's accepted some brief, and it says, in late 2024, the state Supreme Court accepted amicus curiae briefs from outside legal group to review concerns about law enforcement presence in hospital emergency rooms. We know every time there's a crime and somebody goes to the emergency room, the law enforcement is called, all right? Or if something happens in the hospital, the law enforcement is called. It's just like that's just standard practice right there. So the accepted briefs will be considered during the review of the case. So right now they're reviewing this case to see if what they're going to do with her. Now, in the meantime, she's already turned, almost 20 years old. So trial dates, Trevizo's trials originally scheduled for August of 2024 was removed from the court docket while the legal arguments play out. A new trial date has not yet been set. Okay. Now, wrongful death lawsuit. Now, this is what amazes me. So, in August 24, Trevizo's attorney filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the General Hospital. The suit alleges that the hospital's negligence and administered medication contributed to the death of the infant. And they had named this infant, I'm not going to name the infant's name because I don't think that's fair because it's a minor. And even though it's not here with us anymore, it still has rights that need to be protected. So let's go ahead and start working on this today. Let me get my water over here. Oh, goodness. I prefer to go upstairs, but since I'm the only one here, it's quiet in this house. When your babies move out and head off to college and you're just here alone with your dogs, it's very quiet during the day. So what we're going to talk about is Alexee Trevizo's, did she have, number one, psychotic denial of pregnancy, or number two, is she simply in fear of her mother? So we found, so here's how this starts out. This is what's happening in the hospital. We found a deceased baby in the trash. Where is the mother? That's the first thing you hear on the body cam. Next, you see a 19-year-old cheerleader, her hair is in a messy bun, still in her hoodie, asked the nurse, can someone get me McDonald's? Okay, so she's just thinking about eating after delivering this baby and basically putting it into the trash can, all right? Ooh, horrible. And she did this by herself, which is also shocking because of her age. Okay. So, did Alex black out her entire pregnancy, or did she just run the darkest cover up? I mean, we don't know, but we're going to talk about it, and go ahead and make whatever comments you want to, because I want to hear everybody's opinion on it, because I know we're not all going to feel the same way about it. I mean, some people may feel differently. Okay. So I'm not here to dance around it. I'm not going to give you you don't need every messy detail, but anyway, before we decide. But if she was disassociated or was she diabolical? Which one? Let's get a little drink and think about it. Now, I have some videos saved up. And one of the things I also want to talk about is if we decide that she did this because she was in fear of her mother, that's a whole nother situation. It's very separate from denial of pregnancy. Or the psychotic denial of pregnancy, which is a very real, not really, I don't think they consider it a diagnosis, but it is a mental illness per se. Okay. So, and we're going to go to section 1. Okay. We're going to go like this. At that night at Artesia General Hospital on December 27th of 2022 in Artesia, New Mexico, she rolls into the ER, clutching her back, swearing it's just the worst period cramp she's ever had. And yes, I've experienced labor. It is kind of like that, but except it's a whole lot worse. But when you're pregnant, you know what it is, right? At least I did anyway. So then they do some lab work, and it comes back positive HCG. Translation, she was 38 weeks pregnant. She blinks and says, I've never even had sex. So this was an immaculate conception. You know that, right? The staff shrugged and wheeled her to the OB anyway. 6 hours later, security shows her slipping into the single-stall bathroom alone. 33 minutes inside. Housekeeper finds a bloody towel and underneath a baby boy that's blue and just still not moving. And then, she becomes silent. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab this video right quick. Please let this work right today, okay? Oh, my Lord. Let's go ahead and share the screen with. I think this is going to be the one. All right. Share. share. Now, these may not be in the right order, so I might need to go down here and pull this up. Let me go find the, oops, she's down here. Hers is down here. Okay, now, right here, I'm going to play this one. All right. Now, make sure y'all, can y'all hear it okay? I need to make sure y'all can hear, because if it's not loud enough, you need to turn it up. But this is going to be courtesy of Crime City. Thank you, Crime City.
The girl you see in this footage is Alexee Trevizo. She went to the hospital complaining of back problems, but what she would do in the bathroom would leave everyone completely horrified.
Yeah, there was everywhere. There was
I believe that's your mother talking.
Actually, it was all over the place.
Alexee had actually given birth and dumped her newborn like trash.
Where did you put it? Yeah. In the bag. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now?
So, what really happened in the bathroom? Was the baby alive? Why did Alexee throw him in the trash when she could have gotten help in the hospital? Let's take a look at the case of Alexee Trevizo, the teen who threw her new baby in bin. In the early morning of January 27th, 2023, Lila Lewis, a housekeeper at Artesia General Hospital in New Mexico, went to clean the women's restroom near the emergency room. But before she had even walked in to begin the job, she could tell that something was horribly wrong, saying,
"I noticed there were footprints outside the door before I entered the bathroom. I didn't know what to expect when I entered."
When she stepped into the bathroom, she was met by a horrific scene she would later describe to the police as a gory, bloody massacre mess.
Yeah, there was everywhere. There was on the floor, on the wall. Actually, it was all over the place, but all over the floor, because even when I was going into the bathroom, there was coming out of the bathroom.
Although she didn't understand what had happened, Lila decided to do her job.
First thing I did was I started mopping, because we can't be walking around on that bed. Okay. So I started mopping, and then I started, after that I started wiping everything down. Then I went to the toilet, and I cleaned the toilet, and then I got everything. I had to do everything like twice, because it was, bad. I wiped down the walls.
Lila was almost done cleaning when she got to the plastic trash can in the bathroom. When she went to move it, she noticed that it felt heavier than normal. Lila said she began to rummage through the bin to see what was making it so hard to move. She said that cleaning staff would normally store new garbage bags at the bottom of the bin, so the liners can be easily replaced when the trash is removed. At first, she had thought the extra weight was a result of someone storing too many empty liners at the bottom of the can, but when she reached the bottom, what she found would leave her completely traumatized. 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo was a senior and cheerleader at Artesia High School in New Mexico. She was doing really well in school and was even set to graduate before heading off to college. But on January 27th, 2023, Alexee started having terrible back pains. She was taken to the hospital by her mother, where the doctor decided to carry out some tests to see what was wrong with her. To their shock, they found out that Alexee was pregnant and that what she was experiencing was actually labor pains. Alexee completely denied being pregnant, saying that she had never been intimate with a guy and had regular periods. At some point, she excused herself, saying that she wanted to go to the restroom.
Wow.
She was there for quite some time, causing her mom and the doctors to go check on her.
All right, guys, hold on a second. Now, under fair use, I have to stop this so we can talk about it for a minute. Now we've seen this film over and over. And so when you see her running like that, and here's another thing I've always wondered about. How in the world could her mother look at her and not know that she was, and ask her if she's pregnant over and over? Because you can tell by looking at a person's body if they're pregnant or not, right? I mean, she had babies herself. She knows how it looks. That part really never made sense to me. And I don't know if she was doing that to simply maybe look like she didn't know when they were in the hospital, or something else. I don't know why she reacted that way. Anyway, so let's go back and let's watch some more.
I was at the nurse's station, and then at some point I went and kind of checked on her, knocked on the door, see if she needed anything. She denied. She said she didn't need anything.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Flush, told it flush?
Yes, after a while I started hearing. So I probably checked on her 2 or 3 times, I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running.
What none of them would have imagined was that Alexee was actually giving birth alone in the bathroom.
Eventually it got to a point where I said, you need to come out. And I asked the clerk to get the key to unlock the door, because obviously she locked the door to go to the restroom. And whenever we finally had the key to unlock it, she opened it and just kind of walked out.
Alexee was in that bathroom for about 20 minutes, and when she finally walked out, she left a gory scene. This footage shows her leaving the bathroom and walking back to her hospital room as if nothing happened.
Did you look into the restroom?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
what did you see?
Went into the restroom and I saw a large amount of blood.
Where?
It was on the floor. It appeared to like she had tried to wipe it up in places.
At the time, the doctors and nurses thought that Alexee had suffered a miscarriage, and they were mostly concerned about her safety. It was not until Lila checked the trash bag that the true horror of what had actually happened in the bathroom was unveiled.
When I looked at it, he was wrapped up like in a, like at the bottom of the trash can and with trash on top of it in a trash bag. He was about like that big. He had hair. She wrapped it around like that and then wrapped it like under him and then put him on the bottom of it.
Shocked and traumatized, Lila immediately alerted the nurses, who rushed to the bathroom and took the baby to the trauma center and desperately tried to revive him.
Hey, couponing.
Sadly, there was really nothing they could do for the poor baby boy, and he was pronounced soon after. One of the nurses would later describe the horrific condition that the baby was in, saying,
I've dealt with death before, but never like this. The umbilical cord looked like an animal had torn it apart. Like, have you ever eaten string cheese? When you twist it, that's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked. And I was like, wow, this sheik really ripped this thing apart, because they are hard to cut.
The police were immediately called to the scene and told everything that happened.
We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was everywhere. She was cleaning it up.
The doctor said that they were concerned that she might have done something to herself in an effort to terminate the pregnancy.
Kid.
Yeah, how old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened. And then whatever she did, I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't tell us she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag.
After talking to the doctor, the police went to Alexee's room to talk to her and her mother. You can imagine just how shocked the mom was to learn of the extreme lengths that her daughter had gone in order to hide her pregnancy.
I'm sorry. We discovered it in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. They came out and we didn't know. Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
Alexee immediately started crying, claiming that the baby had fallen off and didn't cry when it was born.
I was not crying or nothing. What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here. Stop. Number one priority, guys. Number one priority is she just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Alexee's mom wanted to know how old the baby was, and when she found out, she was horrified.
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? Nothing was crying. Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail? Nothing was crying.
Alexee kept insisting that the baby was not crying when it came out, and that she was afraid of getting in trouble, so she put him in the trash can.
Where did you put it? Yeah. In the bag. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this?
Hang on a minute.
Nothing was crying.
So, it needs to stop right quick. So we've got to talk for a minute for fair use, but I want y'all to listen to what she said. She was afraid of getting in trouble. Getting in trouble with who? Now one of the things about pregnant teenagers that I have always had a problem with is why in the world are they afraid to tell their parents that this has happened? I think a lot of times, because as they're growing up, I believe their parents were telling them, oh, if you come home pregnant, I'm kicking you out. I'm not taking care of that, or somebody else's baby like that. You know better than to do that, blah, blah, blah. But how many of their parents did the same damn thing? I can tell you one thing. I would never, ever have threatened that to my child. If that happened, I would have graciously accepted it, and we'd have just went on with our life, because there's no reason to do this to your child. This is the part I can't understand. Now I'm sitting over there saying all this trash, and that makes you think she was extremely afraid of her mother. But what if she had some underlying mental condition that nobody knew she had? Because the one thing I did learn about when I started studying this psychotic denial of pregnancy is they all have an underlying mental condition, and that is how they are allowed to just go on like this and not feel like they don't feel connection to the baby, like it's really not their baby. It's just some weird thing that's growing on them. Anyway, we'll go back and finish this. Hang on, guys.
It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy, and there'll be an investigator and everything.
Now, what really shocked everyone about this case was why Alexee did what she did. She was already in the hospital where she could have gotten help, yet she risked her life just so no one would know she was pregnant. If she didn't want the baby, why couldn't she just leave him safely in the hospital? Alexee claimed that she didn't know that she was pregnant until the doctor told her. But was this really the truth? Alexee's classmates described her as a master manipulator who had several friends, but very few close ones. She had a long-term boyfriend named Devin Fierro, whom she had been dating for about 3 years.
How long have you all been together?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? Okay. So, not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father?
Okay.
Although Alexee claimed that she didn't know that she was pregnant, some of her friends and classmates said that she knew. Her baby bump was clearly visible, even in this cheerleading video. Still, she tried to lie to everyone else, saying that she had put on weight, not because she was expecting, but because she had started taking the contraceptive pill. One of her former friends said,
"She knew she was pregnant and hid it from almost everyone. She told me she had just gained weight because she was on the pill."
Her classmates said that rumors about her pregnancy started going around in November 2022, when she would have been around 7 months pregnant. But whether she heard the rumor or not, Alexee acted like she didn't have a care in the world. And if anyone asked her about it, she would completely deny it.
A cheerleading coach even asked her if she was expecting, and Alexee again blamed her weight gain on taking birth control pills.
Her schoolmates said that they didn't want to make a big deal out of it because it would seem like they were getting into her business. Another friend said,
"The last thing you want to ask someone who looks like they've gained weight is if they were pregnant."
But now, looking back, the friend said Alexee had worn baggy-type clothes all through the previous year, which she normally never would. So Alexee had actually managed to fool everyone, including her own mother.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know.
Her mom told detectives that Alexee had always had some issues with her hips and back that required her to see a chiropractor to be adjusted. So when she came to her complaining about experiencing back pains, she thought it was the normal issue she'd had in the past. She never thought that her daughter could be going through labor pain.
But she's a cheerleader too, so
She's big in cheer. They have a cheer competition. She works out. I mean,
And she's been active this whole
yeah,
time?
she's been active this whole time.
Alexee's baby was later named Alex Fierro, and his remains were cremated and the ashes given to the mother. Meanwhile, detectives were still trying to figure out what happened to the baby. Was he really a stillborn, or did Alexee kill him at birth? After months of investigation, police ruled that the baby's death was a homicide after an autopsy revealed that he had air in his lungs when he died, meaning that he was actually alive and breathing when he was born. According to police reports, the newborn died from entrapment. This occurs when someone is trapped inside an airtight container, or in this case, a tied plastic bag, which consumes all of the available oxygen until there's no longer enough to sustain life. With this new revelation, police went to Alexee's home in May 2023 to arrest her. This body cam footage captured the arrest.
Please don't be rough with her, please.
Just bring her out. You can be with her the entire time. Okay?
Do you know where the public safety complex is? 3300 West Main?
You can follow us over there.
What's your name?
Alexee.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Alexee, do you know your date of birth?
Yes.
Okay.
She was charged with first-degree murder, or alternatively, killing a child resulting in death and tampering with evidence. But a judge later released her on a $100,000 bail so she could return to school to graduate. Now, despite everything she'd done, Alexee went on with her life as if it was nothing, and could even be seen here at her prom, smiling, while standing next to her boyfriend. Her trial is set for October 2023, and while we may never know for sure whether she regrets what she did or not, we just hope that justice will be done for that poor baby whose short time on Earth was filled with trauma and betrayal. What do you think about Alexee's actions? Let me know in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime City.
All right.
Were you, like me,
Let's stop it.
unmarried, pregnant?
Okay, here we go. All right. So, there we are. You know, she was already 18, so there's really nothing. Yeah, her boyfriend denied he knew. I think he did deny that, but anyway, her mother. There's just, when you look at her pictures and the cheerleading outfits and all that, there is no way the family did not know. There is a big difference between gaining a little weight because you got on the pill and gaining weight because you're pregnant. It looks completely different, you know? So, you know, the first, you know, body cam where she's like, where their mom's screaming at her and she's going, "My daughter's a virgin, Alexee's pale, still bleeding." She keeps whispering. I didn't know. The detectives cracked, you know, they're looking at her like strange. But then when you look at the search history, in her phone, it talks about how to hide pregnancy at 9 months. Signs, and then there's also something about when do you know that labor is close, and brace yourself. And then, you know, and there was also on her phone, can you flush a baby down a toilet? Now, let me tell you something. That sounds almost like this was like a premeditated type of unaliving, right? That's how it kind of seems. But the flip side to that is these people, the people that suffer with actual psychotic denial of pregnancy, because they don't ever have an attachment to this baby. And that comment right there tells me why the young woman did what she did. Good, Cinderella, good. So she, a lot of that was not actually told in the beginning, that she had these things on her phone. But these people that have this denial, well, just like when she said, well, the nothing made no noise, as if she never, ever had any attachment to this baby. It was just an inconvenience that was going to pop out her body at some point. I think that's how she looked at it. Now, those kind of things actually fit the traits for the psychotic denial of pregnancy. But then when you look at the other way, then no. I mean, this is such a controversial subject right here, and her case is very controversial. And I kind of think, you know, there's another case that was very similar to this case. I'm trying to remember this little girl's name. What was her name? Jesus. Let's see. I think it might be over here. I think I have the name of this other person, but maybe not. But anyway, well, we don't even. Anyway, there is another case of something like this. There are many cases of things like this where this happens, but we don't really ever hear about it, right? It's kind of like it just gets swept under the rug, sort of. But this case became huge, you know. So the another thing about this, you know, then they talk about the autopsy facts that the medical examiner said the lungs had inflated. With one breath, maybe two. And they gave it as the cause of death is failure to breathe due to intentional acts. There was a tiny nick in the neck, and the prosecutors bumped that charge to first degree. So the tiny nick in the neck, what do you think that was? I mean, she had nothing to cut it with. I don't really understand that. So anyway, we're going to go back and watch another film in just a second about this type of thing. But, you know, whenever she files, they file this basically a wrongful death suit against the hospital. They blame the hospital because they gave her morphine. Well, here's the thing. When you're in labor, let's say somebody's in labor and they're having a really hard time, and then the doctors are trying to decide if they're going to do a C-section or go naturally. But sometimes sometimes the baby's too far down and they can't pull it back up and do a C-section. That happens too, because that can break the baby's neck. Well, they will give pregnant people morphine. It is not uncommon. It's not unheard of. It's a common practice in a hospital. So them trying to say that the morphine is the reason why the baby had depressed breathing, I don't believe that. But toxicology reports came back with a different story. Yes, there was a trace of, get this, guys, they didn't give her just morphine, all right? There was a trace of fentanyl, but it was just normal placental transfer. Think of it like this. It's the difference between a baby getting a tiny bit of caffeine because mom had a soda, right? Or versus mom chugging 5 espressos. The amount found was nowhere near lethal, okay? And the judge let the civil suit crawl forward, but refused to pause the criminal clock. Well, we know that's not true because they have paused the criminal clock, all right? That's already happened. So when you talk about, okay, let's go play another video and then we'll go into section 5. I mean, I had to write myself a little script here, so I can't keep, I get all sidetracked and weird. Y'all know that. So anyway, let's go watch this other one. Hang on a second. Gosh. Oh, boy. Okay. Let me see, where is this? Hang on just a second. You know how her friends decided that she was the master manipulator, right? So let's listen to this. All right, hang on. Her friends started saying, oh, she was a master manipulator, and all these other things about her. I mean, like the friends, there was not anything nice to say about her. How does that happen? I mean, how does that happen in a high school?
All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. I am literally just here for a quick one. Shout out to my beautiful mod, Vic, who shot me this dailymail.com article that I believe was written today, Saturday, on my side of the world at least. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a quick one because, you know, it's the weekend and I got to, you know, spend some time with the bunny and everybody else, and that's what I'm doing. But I wanted to drop this exclusive that dailymail.com dropped for us, okay? And this is where you guys can find the article. Exclusive. She was a master manipulator. Alexee Trevizo knew she was pregnant and had even picked out the name Alex for her baby boy, but hid it from everyone and blamed weight gain on birth control. High school friends claim. I told you guys that I was having some high school folks contacting me, and I knew that this was it was only a matter of time that somebody was going to speak to somebody. Okay, I knew that this was going to happen. So yes, I know. No, you're not late. You are not late. Yo, I'm literally here for like a 15-minute little drop because it's Saturday, but I wanted to drop this to you guys. I gotta go spend time with my baby bunny and everybody else in the fam. It's Saturday. So this is interesting. I told you guys people were hitting me up on the DMs, on the emails that they're friends. They're in the cheerleading squad. Some of them are in cheerleading squad, and some of them are friends, or some of them go to the high school. Some of them are even administrative staff, believe it or not. And I am not trying to get subpoenaed, but if the Daily Mail, you know, the Daily Mail is the Daily Mail. They have the resources. I'm just here, Okay, so
Uh-oh.
this was dropped by the Daily Mail. So she's a master manipulator. Alexee Trevizo knew she was pregnant and had even picked out the name Alex for her baby boy, but hid it from everyone and blamed weight gain on birth control pills, high school friends claim. High school classmates who spoke to dailymail.com, condition of anonymity, say that Alexee Trevizo knew she was pregnant and hid it from almost everyone. She named the baby boy, the one she is accused of killing, Alex Fierro. Fierro is the alleged last name of the dad. I say alleged father of this child. Said one school friend who said the teenager deserves some serious prison time.
I'm gonna go skip this one
According to the
because she doesn't
student,
want
when
to
a
show anything. She
cheerleading
just
coach
reads
asked Lexi
Hang on.
if she was expecting, she blamed her.
We are seeing new video of a cheerleader who secretly gave birth in a hospital
Watch this.
and then,
Look at
according to
this.
authorities,
Look at it.
left her baby to die in a garbage can. She claims she didn't know she was pregnant and panicked, but as Amber Cogliano reports, many say looking at this video of her with her squad, she had to know she was expecting.
It's dramatic, just released body cam video of cops arresting a teenage cheerleader for allegedly murdering her newborn baby while her mom questions cops.
What is she under arrest for?
She has a warrant for arrest. Okay?
For what?
That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay?
What do you mean that's all you're going to tell me?
19-year-old Alexee Trevizo appears calm as she packs a small bag of personal items before being
already
taken from
18.
her home. But her mom is distraught as she watches her daughter being handcuffed by cops. Cops say she left her baby boy in the trash in a hospital bathroom.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. That's very freaking out at me. I didn't know what to do.
Alexee says she had no idea she was pregnant and went to the ER for back pain. But is that believable? Check out this video of Alexee performing on her high school cheerleading squad less than 3 weeks before she gave birth. Cops say that's a baby bump showing and she must have known she was pregnant. I spoke with her defense attorney, Gary Mitchell. In the video, she clearly has a baby bump. How can she say she didn't know she was pregnant?
That's what she thought. She thought she wasn't pregnant because she's still having her monthly cycle, and that's a big issue.
Gary, you don't think she looks pregnant in that video?
I don't make a judgment on that, and I can't make a judgment on that.
This body cam video shows the somber moment cops talked to Alexee's boyfriend, Devin Fierro, in a hospital waiting room.
You are more than likely would be the father. Okay.
Alexee is free on $100,000 bail.
Alexee Trevizo has pled not guilty to first-degree murder.
On the surface, they were just like.
Let's go back over here now. All right, so I'm gonna leave that right there for a second. Now, hang on. Well, there it is. Okay, it stopped. Good. So, the dad's in the hospital. He's there. He knows why she's at that hospital. You can't lie about it. It's right there. It's right there. So now we're going to talk about really what exactly is psychotic denial. All right. This is Psychotic Denial 101. So genuine psychotic pregnancy denial is incredibly rare. It's not just ignoring the obvious. It's when the brain's entire operating system is just corrupted. It usually shows up with schizophrenia or bipolar psychosis, where women generally believe the baby is like a tumor or even an alien implant. See, they don't have attachment to it. Alexee had no history of psychosis, no voices or delusions. It smells like a corrupted operating system and more like someone intentionally deleting files to hide where they've been. Okay, so this uses like the computer reference. I don't know why, but this is part of this writing thing that I have. So the non-psychotic denial is a different spectrum. It's an effective denial. She knows but actively hides it from anybody. So is Alexee the effective denial? I'm thinking more it's like that. But then persuasive denial is when her body hides the pregnancy so well, she's generally clueless. Now, I don't know how that can happen either. But there's all kinds of stories where you see them on TV or all of these things about I was pregnant and didn't know it. Now, I cannot understand that myself. But again, like I'm 5 foot tall and I only weigh like 110 pounds. So it's very obvious if I'm pregnant, it's going to be all over me, right? It's going to be all over me. Or if somebody might be 6 foot tall and weigh more, it might not be all over them. I guess that's the only way I can look at it like that. Because that's the only way it makes sense to me. But, who am I, right? The dissociative denial is when your memory splits under stress and she truly forgets. Now, how can you forget? Like the Google searches in the plant her firmly on the floor of 1 of 3. It was a trauma. Experts might say a teen brain can hit the eject, like the teen brain can just knock it out of their memory when they're threatened. But I don't know about that. The jury side eyes it, says nice try. Okay, so here's a devious lie checklist that goes along with Alexee. All right. So now the devious lie checklist: premeditation. Was it premeditation? Shh. No. I'm sorry, my little baby dog's just barking. Get down. The people next door over there, hang on. You know what? Let me play this other video because my dog is barking because somebody's in the next door yard. Hang on, guys. Just hang on.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another.
Hey guys, so today I wanted to do something a little bit different and do a story time for you. So today's story is going to be my 15 and pregnant story. Yes, I was pregnant at 15. I was a teen mom, and yes, I am a mom. That might be a surprise to some people just because I don't really share too much about being a mom or about my son. There are a couple pictures on my Instagram, but that's about it. So I lit a candle for you guys. See my candle back here to really kind of set the mood.
Sorry.
So let's go ahead and jump into it.
Right.
So while I'm telling my story, I'm just going to show some pictures over here of my son and I throughout
Why is that
the years.
not there?
So
I'm going to have to go
to start
back
the
and
story,
reshare my screen.
currently,
So let me get rid of that and close that down. Sometimes I don't know what the hell. Sometimes we just have problems with, StreamYard acting right. I don't know what causes it, but here, let's go back and share this other screen and we'll bring this other thing up. But, all right, hang on. But this one is like 15 and pregnant and how this is a different person, but she talks about how she hid her pregnancy. But I guess he stopped barking for a second. So I don't know. I guess I should have went upstairs to do this, but I thought, well, I'll just stay downstairs. It's okay. So we were talking about this. No. Okay, well, I'm going to have to play this. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry, guys.
Mom, you
Damn
were
it,
right.
boy, stop.
Yeah, so we were together for a little over a year before I got pregnant. So let's talk about how I found out I was pregnant. So I was a little late starting my period, and my periods are like clockwork. Like they start at the same time every single month. So when I was late, I was like, that's weird, but didn't really think too much of it. Yeah, I was late starting my period, and my son's dad was like, we should take a pregnancy test. And I was like, whatever, let's take a pregnancy test. I'm not going to be pregnant, but we'll get one just so I can show you.
That's
so
a cute baby.
Got the pregnancy test and peed on it. And my son's dad, he was waiting outside the bathroom door. And I just remember thinking, no, I'm not pregnant. It's going to say I'm not pregnant. It didn't. It said pregnant. And I remember my mouth was like, my eyes were like, and I opened the door, showed my son's dad, and he had the exact same facial expression that I did. He was like, oh my God, what the hell are we going to do? And I was like, I don't know. Honestly, my thought process was, there's no way I'm pregnant. But if I am pregnant, I'm going to have a miscarriage because there's no way that my 15-year-old body can form a child. Like, that was my thought process the whole time. I was in such denial. Like, I don't think I can say that enough. I was in denial,
Yes, there
you guys.
is.
So that was kind of how it all started. I just told my son's dad, like, it's going to go away. Like, it's fine. We're not going to have a kid, right? It'll go away. It'll be fine. It didn't go away. So first couple months, you know, I was like, whatever. Didn't really think about it too much. But as time went on and my belly started growing, I kind of came to the realization that I was actually going to have a child. And that's when I was like, oh shit, what do I do? So I didn't tell anyone besides my son's dad. He was the only one that knew. Now, keep in mind, during this time, I am in high school. So as time went on, my belly started getting bigger and bigger, and it was harder to hide. So what I would do is I actually went out and bought a sweatband from Walmart. So a sweatband, if you've never seen one, it's like one of those things that you tie around your waist. You can make it really tight, whatever.
Yeah.
It's to like sweat and stuff. Well, I did it to hide my bump. And actually, it worked pretty well. I mean, when I put that thing on, you could not see my bump at all. I would just wear like baggier shirts and sweatshirts to hide my belly. But literally, I would wear that sweatband not only to high school, but I'd also wear it like when I got home or when I was hanging out with my friends, just to make sure that no one saw my bump. I just remember being so scared, just shocked, disappointed, humiliated. Like, I did not want to have this child. I didn't know what to do. You know, I just thought something would happen, like he'll go away, like everything will be fine. But he never went away. So I can't even like begin to like explain that, like what all was going through my head. Like, why did I hide it? I don't know. I was scared, and I just was hoping it would go away. Like, that's all I can say. I was just hoping it would go away. For being so depressed, just every night I would cry, I would bawl. I just would pray. I wouldn't pray for God to help me through the situation. I would pray to die. You know, I did not want to live. I would literally say a prayer to not wake up because I didn't want to go through this pregnancy. And that's hard to say, but it's true. Like,
oh, that's
I
sad.
literally would pray to die. That was kind of the thought process in my head at the time. Like, I just did not want to be alive because I didn't want to go through this. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want my family to know.
Okay, and stop that for fair use, and let's talk about this for a minute. Now, okay, so she's like this typical 15-year-old right here that's trying to hide this. Now, I cannot imagine wearing one of those belts around my waist and being pregnant like that, because as you get bigger and there's no room in your stomach and you're still trying to press that in with that Walmart sweat thing, golly, that had to hurt. I wonder if it caused any trauma to that baby, or if maybe the babies are just resilient and they can be squished up like that and it really doesn't even matter, right? So anyway, so let's talk about this again for a second. So we were talking about this devious lies checklist before my dog started barking and being so rude. And then we were talking about how she searched to hide the weight gain. She ordered extra large hoodies, and she bought and folded 40-gallon trash bags in her purse. Now, let me tell you something. That means that she knew at any time when she had this baby, she was already planning to put it in a damn black trash bag and discard it because it meant nothing to her. But I would love to talk to the boy and ask him if he knew that she was over there premeditating this baby's demise, right? She could have, because of her age, she could have went to that hospital, had that baby and left it there, went home and never said a word to her mother. It just did not have to happen this way. She was of legal age to make decisions for herself, right? So that, unbelievable, really. So then she texted her, she didn't go to practice that day. And so she said, she sent her squad leader that she's bloated and she just can't go, right? And then she goes on to the hospital But nobody packs kitchen bags in their purse. Nobody. Then you gotta wonder, did she take her purse to that bathroom, or did she leave it in the room with her mother? Because did she use those same trash bags that she had pre-purchased while she was in the bathroom at the hospital? That's something I don't know, because this is the first. I had not known that she had done this until I pulled all this stuff together to come and talk to y'all today. I did not know about it, right? And then there's the courtroom situation, and then she gets arrested, and then she's denied any bond. The grand jury true bills her on first degree, and then and then they start trying to get this. The defense gets the body cam, tossed out and denied. They were going to have jury selection October 24th, and that sentence range was life or death. That's the only two sentences they had for first degree murder there. In New Mexico, it hasn't used the needle since 2001, but it's still on paper. So they would not have really sentenced her to death, but it is an option that's still available to first degree murderers in the state of New Mexico. All right. Then there's this mom factor that happens over here, hang on. So the mom factor of Alexee's mom, who is an actual nurse. So this makes no sense. She waited 40 feet away the whole time, scrolling through Facebook like nothing was going on, right? Later, she told the detectives, I believed her when she said she wasn't pregnant. Does that make sense? Absolutely not. And why? Okay, again, Alexee's over here 18 years old. Her mother is not going to be charged for any of this. So why is her mother sitting there telling the cops these things when we know, obviously, she did know? If you're a nurse, you freaking know. You cannot go there with us. We're not going to listen to that, and we're not going to believe that. Okay? So she goes, I believed her. She goes, the internet calls and all these other things were just weaponized denial. That's what they say. It's like her mom didn't just accept the lie. She handed Alexee a shield saying, I believe you, making it harder for anyone else to get to the truth. The court just calls it complicated. Well, it is complicated, but it's also a premeditated disposal of a damn baby. Now, this is getting me upset because here's the thing. When I started putting this together, guys, I did not pre-read it. I just wanted to go in cold, just like you guys, because this is things that we did not know. We had not heard this before. So then there's the public reaction to what she's done here, and the prom photos. 4 days after being indicted for murder, she posted prom pictures. It's like this meant nothing. She was wearing the sequin gown, she had her corsage, and she's full of smiles. And in her prom picture, she's putting best night ever. And of course, the public gets upset when they see this, and they should. But remember, it's that flat effect of the trauma. And it's not automatic proof of guilt, though. Sometimes after a massive shock, the brain's emotional circuit breaker just flips, leaving a person seemingly numb to protect itself from a complete overload. Still, the optics stay. Well, of course, she's... Okay. Then there's the split between everybody. You've got one half of the people thinking this and the other half of the people thinking that, okay? So the court psychologist said, adjustment disorder with an anxious mood, not psychosis. Okay, so that takes away anyone's belief that this was a psychotic denial of pregnancy. All right, if you believe what this guy says. Okay, basically, her brain was like a car getting a flat tire under extreme stress, a severe reaction, but a predictable one. The defense expert says cryptic pregnancy plus dissociative episode. The arguments that her brain wasn't just stressed. It was like the car's entire GPS system crashed and wiped the destination from her memory. The jury was left with two complete different roadmaps. So there's two different things they're going to claim happened here. Okay. So, you got to, based on what you know so far, if we take a vote right now, what are you going to say? Is it going to be denial? Is she guilty or not guilty of first degree murder? Okay. Now, I know, just like the Menendez brothers, think about this. So the Menendez brothers, because of their age, they went back and resentenced them. Now, I don't know if y'all seen my little video I put out about the Menendez brothers, but in my mind, yes, under a certain age, it's a different sentencing structure now. fine. That's fine. No problem. But here's the thing about the Menendez brothers. They went outside and reloaded. This was not some stress reaction. This was a very intentional, premeditated unaliving they did of their parents. Had they just, if they would have never came back inside after reloading to just basically continue this, which almost sounds like a rage unaliving, okay? Because we know there's several different types of unaliving people in the psyche, because we're not really talking about the crime itself. We're talking about the psychological reasons why people do the things they do, okay? So at this point, I know she's 18 years old, but after seeing that everything I've seen, I'm going to vote. If you ask me right now today, I'm voting guilty. Now, were there circumstances about this? Maybe, maybe. So anyway, that I just wanted to talk about that for a second. But there are lesser charges that they can charge her with. That are a little bit, but it's going to cause a problem because jurors are not going to agree all the time. I mean, you just can't say, they can't agree that it's a premeditated murder. There's other options. It's like this legal safety net for these kids that do this, because even the other ones that have done this, I don't find that they were actually sentenced to life in prison over this, right? They were not. Not all of them were already 18, though. Some of them were younger, but they weren't really considered an adult. But are you an adult at 18 or are you an adult at 21? That's another controversy that can be discussed about this. But anyway, they could go for second degree, arguing her actions were so reckless. They were, bound to the end in a tragedy, and that's true. They were reckless, and they were bound into the tragedy because she had already looked this up on the internet and figured out what she needed to pack in her purse to do this with. So, I mean, that's another option. They could land on a felony child abuse resulting in death, which carries a 15 to 18 year sentence. It's just a very complicated case. And I can see all three charges, but I don't know. I mean, if I was a member of the jury, what would I vote? Well, she's guilty, but what is she guilty of? Well, we know that she's guilty of taking that baby's life, right? So it's just, I know some people never mature. You're right about that, Cinderella. I absolutely believe that. Now, if you just want to hear my 2 cents, and this is based on some things that I found, right? Neonaticide causes there's a bunch of angles. Usually the story involves deep poverty, a violent partner, or severe, undeniable psychosis. Here we have the middle-class comfort, an intact family, and literal shopping list of concealment tactics, right? That pushes me away from I blacked out and toward I knew, I panicked, and I chose the worst possible exit. Now, that's kind of what makes sense to me. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree, but it's okay. So, when you look at the verdicts that are available, I mean, the verdict toolkit is just this. I mean, do her actions look planned when you lay them out in the calm light of day? Absolutely, they do to me. Was her environment so hostile that secrecy felt like the only way to survive? No, it was not. I don't believe that. And could any of us disassociate this completely under that much shame and fear? No, I don't think so. I mean, I just don't think so. So here we go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch another video, because the next thing we're going to talk about after what she did was it the fear of her mother that made her choose this? And why would you fear your mother so much? And then that comes back to, why do parents throw their children out when they come home and tell them they're pregnant, whether they're 14, 15, 16? Why do they do this? What is wrong with the parents to do this to the children? Because at that point, your children need you the most right then. Your daughter needs her mom and dad the most when they come up pregnant like that. Or when they find themselves pregnant like that. That's what I see. Now, listen, I never asked y'all to do this. I never do. Y'all know I always forget about that. But can y'all hit that thumbs up? I really need to start asking for that, but I don't. I just never do. Anyway, so let's go watch something about what happens whenever the children are just thrown out of the house because they come home and tell their parents they're pregnant. All right, hang on just a second. All right. Oops, what are you doing here? Hang on.
No.
Nope. Let's go down here and find this. Okay. Here we go. So this is just a little short one.
Like me, unmarried, pregnant, and afraid to tell your parents because they'd be so disappointed in you, or they have enough problems of their own, or you get a beating. So you had the abortion. Looking back, your fear seems small in comparison to the loss of your child. When you're dealing with a big problem and feel like you have nowhere to go or no one you can trust, it's an awful place to be. Healing after abortion involves tracing the roots of fear and exposing the reasons we tried to keep ourselves safe. Check the description for good people to help you do that.
Village speaks righteous, Sister Cena says funky. How was I? How was I? How was I?
All right, let me go start this up. Here we go. This is what I was trying to get this one a while ago, but I didn't. There you go. This is going to be full credit to John Man Studio.
Patrice! Honey, I've been calling you. Grandma made lunch. It's getting cold.
Are you crying? I just had something in my eye.
I can tell when something's wrong. What are you hiding?
Nothing.
What is this, a pregnancy test?
Mom, I can explain.
It's positive. You're pregnant.
I'm sorry. I just found out. I was going to tell you.
I can't believe you. You're just a teenager. First thing tomorrow, we are going to the clinic to take care of this, and then you are never leaving this house again. Do you understand me?
The clinic?
Yeah.
No, Mom. I can't give up on my baby.
What? Then get out. Because I'm not tolerating this in my house. Either you give up that baby, or you leave this house and you never come back.
I never planned for this to happen. But that's not the baby's fault. I'm gonna love this baby, even if that means I have to sleep on the street.
Hey, lunch is ready, dear.
Patrice!
It is evil.
Honey, what happened to her?
Disassociating?
You're not going to believe this, Mom. She's pregnant.
What? But she's just a teenager.
Exactly. That's why I kicked her out of the house.
You did what? Where is she going to go?
I don't know. It's none of my concern. She can be homeless for all I care.
Oh, honey.
Let me talk
to you.
That right there. She could be homeless for all I care. Now, is that really how that mom feels? I don't think so. But I do know this, and listen, I'm not being racial at all, but in certain religions, in certain, I'm going to say just backgrounds or whatever, those kind of things are so shameful. And then, they take the lives of some of these children or these kids in other countries for this right here. Okay. And I think it's horrible. It is evil. And I don't know what this is. I've not watched this. I'm watching it come with you guys because I wanted to just go out there and we'll just learn together on whatever this is. But I think what's going to happen is grandma's going to tell her she's wrong. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 65 soon. I make no bones about that. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. How I am here is exactly how I am all the time. But at my age, I would never, ever, ever do that to my child. Even if I was 35 or 45, I would still never do that to my child. But I will tell you, I grew up in a household where this is exactly what was preached. Don't you come home pregnant. You come home pregnant, your ass is out of here. You and whoever can go take care of that yourself. But see, nobody at that age is prepared to take care of that themselves, right? And then you've got way back when, I can remember people trying to talk others into doing the, I'm just going to say the A word, right? But then that's also extremely frowned upon because that is the same as basically taking the life of a child. It's like it's unaliving a person, right? But in some states you're not really a person until you come out of the mother. In some states you're a person just because you're there. And like in Texas, that's a real person. I mean, look at the Joseph Banty case that I'm watching that really closely, trying to get all the information on, where he gave his girlfriend the Plan C drug and she didn't even know that he did this. Now he's claiming that she bought it herself. He had talked about it and she bought it herself. She's claiming, no, I decided I did not want to do that, and he bought it anyway and put it in my drink and my food, and I did not know. But anyway, we'll go back and finish watching this. But hopefully this grandmother can talk this mother into, no, that's exactly the wrong thing to do. So hang on.
I know you're upset. And you have every reason to be. And I wish she hadn't gotten pregnant so young. But she's still your daughter. And you can't give up on somebody that you love.
That's easy for you to say. You've never been through something like this. Mom, what's wrong?
I bet she has.
I have been through something like this. You see, I'll never forget the day I found I was pregnant. I was also just a teenager, right around Patrice's age. My mom got so angry that she kicked me out of the house. I ended up on the streets all alone. Some nights, I didn't even know if I was going to make it. But I fought my hardest because I didn't want to give up on you. And then you were born. It was the happiest day of my life. As much as I struggled,
so that's the happy
I
ending
knew
in that
it was
case,
all worth it when I held you in my arms for the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them have happy endings like that. But isn't it amazing that she's telling her daughter right there, listen, yeah, I have been there, and look what my parents did, and it was completely inappropriate. Look how many of these kids end up on the street, right? Because of whatever the situation is. And if it's this, there is no reason to end up on the street. It's just not. And if they don't want the baby, there's so many people that will take these babies. So many of them, it just makes you sick when you hear this kind of thing. Now, I never had daughters. I don't have a daughter-in-law. I don't have any grandbabies. I don't have none of that. So I don't get the joy of holding little babies and stuff. That's why I have dogs, I guess. But anyway, so I mean, it just goes back to how wrong it is. And okay, so the whole thing was to study Alexee Trevizo and really what happened to her and why was she hiding from her mother? She's hiding it from her mother, or her mother's actually in denial. Let's think about that. Is her mother the one in denial? Is her mother not want to tell the rest of the family because then she's going to feel shame that her daughter went out and did this? I mean, what is the mother's excuse? Because clearly if the mother's a nurse, there is no excuse. She clearly could see what would happen. What's happened here? There's so many parts of this case that don't make sense, But I mean, just the overview of the damn case itself. Well, let's just talk about that for a second. So there's the incident, on January the 27th when she's goes into the hospital. She delivers this baby in the trash can. There's the criminal charges. She's charged for first-degree murder or abuse of a child resulting in death or tampering with evidence. That's the 3 charges. Then there's the defense argument. That she's that her legal team claims that she did not know she was pregnant and that she tested positive after she. No. You read her text message. They're trying to get all the evidence thrown out, just like Stephen Stern's trying to get his phone evidence thrown out. They're trying to get her phone evidence thrown out. That's not going to happen, all right? So, so that's all now in front of the New Mexico Supreme Court before she's even went to trial. So, this case. This case is going to be a lot, and I want to follow the whole thing and see what happens with her. Hey, Lady Freedom, good to see you. How you doing? Hey, listen, guys. Today I was talking to Lady Freedom, and she was telling me what she was cooking, and she was showing. I was like, God, get over here and cook dinner for us. It just looks so good, I know she's going to make something good. But anyway, it's good to see you, Lady Freedom. How you doing? We're just talking about, what happens when let me take this off the screen right here. Let me remove that. What happens when the teenager goes home and they actually tell the parents that they've gotten pregnant, and the parents react with, "Well, I'm throwing you out of the house." I mean, that is, that's just totally wrong. And we're also talking about some things that we did not know, Lady Freedom, that Alexee Trevizo had done. There was little searches on her phone about how to dispose of this child, and she carried black plastic trash bags that she ordered from Amazon in her purse. So that to me is premeditation, but we'll see what happens with that case. I just wanted to look at her case today and talk about it for a little bit and try to decide which one is it, Oh, she goes, "Great, sweetheart. I'm going to make you dinner and we need to get to," yes, we do. Alexee's mom? Yeah, Alexee's mom. Okay, lady, Alexee's mom is a damn nurse. She can look at that child's body and tell she's pregnant, but she stands up in that hospital and says, "Crap, it's crazy." Yeah, wait, what? Yes, ma'am. She stood there in that hospital and acted like she didn't know, and she's yelling at her, "Alexee, I told you about this," right? I mean, but she's a nurse. She damn sure did know. There's no way she didn't know. There's just no way. And come to find out, the little boy that's the father of this baby was at the hospital when she's in the hospital. They all knew. This is just some kind of BS cover-up she was trying to pull real fast when Alexee put the baby in the trash can. That's why I think her mother said that. But yeah, we've decided that no, Alexee Trevizo did not suffer from psychotic denial of pregnancy. She seriously just wanted to hide it because she did not want it. She just did not want it. And the psychiatrists or the people that talked to her have kind of, said kind of the same thing. I'm not going to go back through the whole thing, but, I just wanted to come and talk about that for a little bit today because I've been interested in this case for a long time, and I knew it was just like standing still. It's just standing there. Nobody's done anything because it's over there in the New Mexico Supreme Court over the evidence that over the fact that now the two parents, the Alexee and her boyfriend, have filed a case against against the hospital for wrongful death because they gave her medicine when she said her back hurt. But here's a weird thing that nobody knew until just now. I had never heard that when the medical examiner looked at the baby, that there was also a nick in the baby's neck. How did the baby get a nick in its neck? What happened there? Did she have scissors with her and she cut the baby's neck? Because I don't know. I want to know where that came from. That's the first I ever heard of it. So what a load of poop. You're right. It is a load of poop, Lady Freedom. It absolutely is. But how many times this happens a lot. We know it happens a lot. There's several cases these young women this happens to. One of them buried in her own backyard. I can't remember her name though. I need to remember her name. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But she also was charged with murder. Let me see, what is her name? I want to say her name was Blake, but that might not be right. This is kind of an older case too, but it's an interesting case, and I don't know because she was a minor. She was not 18. Skylar, you're right, Skylar. That's the other one, but she was not 18 when this happened to her, so she was still, a minor. So there's no way we'd ever be able to get the records from her case. But I would love to do FOIA requests and get all the records from Alexee's case here, so we can just keep following it. Because she needs to have some sort of punishment, right? But what's it going to be? Is it going to be first degree, second degree? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Anyway, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today for about an hour. I know I don't stay on very long. We've been on about an hour and 14 minutes. I know I don't stay on long, but it's because we all have all kinds of. Cinderella says, what did she get put on birth control? See, I don't know what. That's another question. Why didn't her mom put her on birth control? She knew she was of the age. How many other parents, when their children get into high school, the girls, they just say, listen, Okay, we know we've told you not to do this and all of that. It's okay if you're late. I got it. Listen, I don't care when somebody watches my show. Go watch it. Go do replay, whatever. Just watch it. That's all I ask. Just make me feel good about what I'm doing. That's all. Anyway, how many parents take the daughter down and say, okay, we've told you not to do this, but we know you're not going to listen to us because we understand hormones and we understand teenage years. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put you on birth control. How many parents actually do that? A lot of them do. Is that the smart thing to do? I don't know, because in a sense, when you do that, you're telling them it's okay because you're on birth control. But when you don't have, I mean, what do you do? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what I would do. She is a piece of work, Cinderella. You can't. Oh, Lady Freedom says you can't blame hormones. Oh, she's gonna blame hormones. Yeah, hormones. I mean, listen, that's when they all start happening. Is when between the ages of 16 and 18, right? All these things start happening. So it's a piece of work for sure. I mean, I just don't know what I would do if I had a daughter. Now, I will tell you what I told my sons, because I only had sons. I've always told them, do not, number one, do not put yourself in a situation where we are raising a baby. I really don't want that for you because it can interrupt the entire trajectory of your life plan. Okay, so I really don't want that for you. So if you are going to do things like, please use protection. You can't rely on the girl to have the protection. You need to have the protection for yourself. That's exactly what I tell them, period. Lady Freedom says, because it messes with your hormone too, Little Red, we have to maintain. Yeah, you're right. It does. I mean, I just don't know what these families are thinking. You don't know. We just don't know all the stories all the time. But we do know how these babies are made, and we do know that this happens a lot in your teenage years, And I don't think that Plan C is the answer. I don't think Plan B is the answer. I don't think kicking your child is the answer. I mean, there's so many other ways. There's so many people who want babies. Think about it. There's so many. I mean, hell, even at my age, I would take another baby. Now, my husband, that's a different story. Because he'd be like, well, we can't afford to put any more people through college. We're pretty much done. This is the end. This is it. We're going to be out of money after this because, he's going to go to medical school. So that's his life plan. He wants to go to medical school. So he would not take another baby at our age. But anyway, I always tease him about that too, But anyway, so I don't really know. I just want to know more information about her and why. I wish I understood why she did not tell her mom. Her mom, well, maybe because she heard all of her life that she was going to get kicked out, and maybe she really thought that. I don't know. I don't even know how many kids her mother had. I don't really know much about the family. We do need to empower. You're right about that, and not shame the girls. Thank you, Lady Freedom. That's exactly right. Empower them. Don't shame them. How is that helping anything? It's not. That's not going to fix anything. All you're doing is alienating yourself away from your children. You don't want to do that. So she goes, Lady Freedom says, thank God understanding what a little person needs. I want a baby, of course, but they're younger. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, listen, having a baby at 46 is not easy. It's just not. There's a lot of span of years between my oldest child and that baby, right? So he couldn't believe that we were doing that, but, well, it's okay. He loves his little brother. He loves him. I don't know if y'all saw my show from Friday night because my son came on with me, and we just did a little, play with some little boo-boos and stuff. And then he showed everybody his little tattoo of his brother that has on his arm. It's just beautiful. It looks just like the baby picture, exactly like it. But anyway, if you get a chance, go back and watch that. It was fun. We just started laughing. We just had a good time, So anyway, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I know we're all busy. We got things to do, and I don't know what I want to talk about next. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. On Friday was it Thursday? It was Thursday during the day. I did a little show, and it was about this lady who she is a diagnosed sociopath, right? She wrote this book. And I ordered this book. It should be here today. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is this particular author, this particular author. And I love you too, Lady Freedom. I sure do. About this particular author and what it was like for her, because she was not diagnosed until later in life. But she has children. She has a husband. She has children. And she talks about this very openly about how it was for her. And when she gets out, anyway, it's an incredible book, and I can't wait to read it. Just can't wait to read it. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I love you all. Please come see me again. Bye, guys. Bye. In my stream. Isn't it?